when it comes to copywriting, it's not super trendy. And that suits my personality really well. I'm not super trendy. I go with what works and what's proven. And I think that's what I'm going to give you today. I'm going to give you the 5 copywriting tips that work no matter what year it is. But I'm going to show you how to take those and create ways to try and test new things using some of the top digital marketing and social media trends that are going into 2020. Super easy to get drawn into the latest and greatest new thing, right? So video is a platform. No, TikTok is a platform. No, Clubhouse is a new platform. You can't even write any words on Clubhouse, right? So like, what are we supposed to do? But like I said, there are tried and true copy strategies that work. And just because something new comes along doesn't mean that we put those tried and true strategies to sleep. It doesn't mean that we should put them to the side. What it means is we can't throw out the basics, right? So there's always going to be new things that pop up. But these 5 things are always going to be important. So number 1 thing is know your target audience. Research is cool, you guys. Research never goes out of style, am I right? There's nothing more important in any sales copy campaign than knowing and understanding who you're writing to. You may be writing for a client, but you're not writing to them. You're writing to their target audience, their ideal and dream clients and customers. And if you don't know who they are, if you don't do the research and put in the time on the front end to get to know them, understand their problems, where they're coming from, what they want to accomplish, what their dreams and goals are, then the campaigns that you write for are not going to be as compelling, they're not going to be as connective, and they're not going to capture attention as well as they could if you really dial in and get to know the target audience on the front end. No trendy new strategy can replace good target market research. All right, number 2, never underestimate the power of a good headline. Headlines are everything when it comes to capturing attention. And when that is the currency we deal with, right? Attention. So you have about 3 seconds. Studies show that people will glance at something for about 3 seconds. If it doesn't capture their attention, scroll, 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 right? So if the headline is blah, or it doesn't hit on where the target audience is right then, it doesn't create some kind of emotional reaction, the reader will be gone practically before you can blink, right? So I probably spend proportionally more time on headlines than any other section of copy. So when I'm doing funnel copy, when I'm doing ad copy, when I'm doing emails, it's the subject lines, the headlines, those first few lines of text that I spend the most time on, because those are the ones that trigger the attention and keep them reading. So don't underestimate the power of a good headline. Don't skimp on the time spent creating and testing multiple variations and having some extra hooks line. I became an MLM direct salesperson and sold Jamberry nails for about 1.5 years. And I sold so many of those things because all of my friends wanted to buy them. Would they have ever seen them if it wasn't for me? Maybe some of them would have eventually, but in our area, I was kind of the first person who had heard of them, first person who was selling them, and basically all my first customers were people who knew me, who were my friends, who bought them because I recommended them. And so that is the kind of effect you want with the target audience. When that happens, they will buy from you. It will be a much shorter in terms of time, in terms of energy, in terms of money to get them from where they are to that shopping cart when there's a personal connection. All right, the fourth important strategy that will never grow old, no matter what, is that clarity is key. It sounds really obvious, but one of the biggest issues I see when I'm asked to come in and fix a client's funnel is that things are unfocused and with mixed messaging. Clarity is so important, and it's really hard. If you confuse people, you're gonna lose people. I really like that. I'm gonna make a bumper sticker. Confuse them, you're gonna lose them. And it's so true. So my general rule of thumb is that each project gets one clear call to action. Just one. Everything in that piece of copy needs to be working towards the same goal of getting them to do that thing that you want them to do. So whether it's sign up for your lead magnet, whether it's register for a masterclass, or whether it's make a purchase, everything in that piece of copy needs to be clearly focused in that direction. So when you start asking them, so go like my page and go share this with 6 friends and watch the video and then come back and comment, the percentage of people who actually do all those things that you're asking them is very, very small. But if you can give it to them one step at a time, clearly with one CTA per piece of copy, you're gonna have a much better result and much more consistency, and you're gonna avoid confusing the audience. And like I said, when you confuse them, you lose them. This one's probably one of the ones that I get the most nerdy about. I really love this strategy, but remember how I said that people feel connected when they feel like they're heard and understood, when they trust you, when they know you, they like you, they're much more likely to buy. One way that you can create that kind of connection that's always going to be effective is by mirroring their experience. And this all ties back to how well you understand your target audience, right? Because you can't mirror someone's experience to them if you don't know what their experience is. So one way that you can do this is by opening up your piece of copy with a question, something that they can really relate to. So this creates momentum. If you can get them responding and internally nodding or shaking their head, depending on what answer you're looking for, then they're much more likely to click or opt in or buy. So for instance, this morning I just wrote a set of ad copy for someone who's in network marketing. She builds billion-dollar sales teams for network marketers. And I opened up the ad copy with this question. What would it be like if you had 100 pieces of engaging, valuable content locked, loaded, and ready to push out? For those who are struggling to create the content they know that they need in order to promote their business, their mind is like, oh my gosh, please tell me that's possible, right? She has immediately, well, she through me, has immediately locked on one of their big pain points, which is how time consuming and creativity consuming content creation is for network marketers, and raise the question of what if. So powerful. So anytime you can really dial into what the target audience is thinking and feeling and then turn that back around and give it to them, it's so effective. All right, so here's another example, right? Let's say your client is selling a lip gloss that's shiny but not sticky. So this is obviously I'm very concerned with having things, my hair is very long right now. And if I go out into the wind and it blows into my face, then sticky lip gloss becomes like my worst nightmare. So for me, being someone who likes a bright lip, not having something that's sticky is like the best, that's like a pain point for me. I don't want sticky lip gloss. So one way that you could do that is saying, are you sick of lip gloss that moonlights as a sticky trap for your hair? You know, like, yes, I am sick of that. I am totally in. I'm reading to hear what they have to say after that. All right, so let's shift gears now. I've just given you 5 tried and true strategies that will always work no matter what year it is to help create more connection and capture more attention with your target audiences. But that doesn't mean that you should never implement anything new, right? When it comes to implementing new trends and strategies in sales copy, the thing that you want to remember that is not about changing the what you write necessarily. If those tried and true strategies of how to capture attention and create connection are still working, you don't have to change what you write. But you do want to consider changing when, where, and how that content appears. So marrying those tried and true strategies with some new strategies for the when, where, and how can be super effective to help your client's stuff show up in new and original and creative and attention-grabbing ways without having to totally ditch the old tried and true methods. So let me give you a little rundown on what I mean by the when, the where, and the how. Consider switching up the point in the campaign that you bring in certain pieces of information, right? Societal and cultural changes shift perceptions over time, and something you may have had success mentioning early in the campaign in the past may need to be placed further down today, or vice versa. So let's use COVID-19 as an example. Things that were pain points for people before COVID-19 changed after COVID-19. So where your marketing may have focused somewhat on helping people work from home, after COVID-19 came and we went into the socially distancing shutdown mode, those work from home things really gained more importance. Suddenly bringing those into the marketing, maybe even before some of the other services or benefits you provide to your clients, was more important than ever. So take a look around at what's going on in society and in culture right now and ask yourself, in my marketing message, in what I promote and what I talk about, are there things that I could bring in sooner than I have been? Or are there things that I need to kind of push to the bottom a little bit due to sensitive topics or issues and things that are going on in the media perhaps? Consider when certain pieces of content show up. The second way you can diversify and marry the old with the new is where information shows up. So platforms and algorithms are always changing. We have seen that with the way that Clubhouse has just blown up huge. We've also seen it with this iOS update that Apple is bringing out and the way that it stands to affect and impact the Facebook algorithm. Those things are always changing. They're always going to continue changing. So it's important to be adaptable on where you're communicating with your target audiences. Just because email has always been an effective tool for your client doesn't mean they shouldn't test the text messaging, chatbots, or a new social media platform. You don't know until you test. So consider taking some of the most engaging, the best performing content that you have for your clients and encouraging them to have it show up in a different place. So maybe take your blog articles and create articles in LinkedIn and publish them there. Or if you have a sales page for a small ticket item, consider setting it up in a chatbot sequence to help guide people through and push them to that landing page. Same message, same messaging strategies, just a different location. All right, now finally, the last thing you should consider switching up and trying out in 2021 is changing the how. So how does this appear? So you may have mostly focused on text and words. So if you're a writer like me, my content all starts in the written form. However, today, things are more visual than ever. And so I need to consider how I get my message out in different ways. So right now I'm looking at Clubhouse as an audio platform. I'm looking at YouTube as a video platform. Yes, I'm a writer. Yes, my content is written, but my message can be delivered in different ways. How I deliver it can change, even if the message stays the same. I'm really liking this training, you guys. I hope that you're getting a lot out of it and that it's sparking a lot of ideas for you as far as what you can try for your clients that might get boosted results without abandoning what works, right? So consider the when, the where, and the how, and the different ways that you can combine those things with the tried and true strategies to help your clients show up even stronger and better and more engaging and attention capturing than ever. So there's no substitution for the copywriting basics, right? If it works, it works. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun trying new things in 2021. Just don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Don't throw out what works and totally abandon it to try something completely different. There's no guarantee, right? But do try new things. Try new things and marry them with the old tried and true strategies. I think that that is the key to best results while still protecting the integrity of the messaging and the effectiveness of the campaigns. So if you guys loved that, you can see the full blog article where I break it down even more on my blog, which is christanichols.com/blog. And you can grab that there. But I would love to hear what you think. So go ahead and comment below what your biggest takeaway from this was. I would love to just spark some discussion on it and move forward with just maybe some brainstorming on how we can do this for our clients and marry those tried and true strategies while still getting creative and kind of optimizing the where, the when, and the how. Have a great Friday, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you back here again soon.